Right, let's look at some business news now. Business organizations say they are cautiously optimistic over support plans included in the State of the Nation address. President Cyril Ramaphosa announced measures which include plans to finalise amendments to the Businesses Act to reduce regulatory impediments for small and medium-sized businesses and cooperatives. The president also announced plans to provide 1.4 billion rand to help over 90,000 entrepreneurs. He says government will partner with the SME Fund to finance 10 billion rand in support of SMME growth.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has acknowledged in his 2023 SONA that small businesses remain key to job creation and play an important role in the country's economic growth.
Growth and creation of jobs in our economy will be driven by small and medium-sized enterprises, by cooperatives and informal businesses. Through the Small Enterprise Finance Agency, SEFA, we plan to provide 1.4 billion in financing for over 90,000 entrepreneurs.
This has been described as bold by economists who say over time businesses have had to endure unfavorable circumstances that have led to some small businesses closing down.
I think for him, it was good to at least acknowledge that there are some issues around the regulations and therefore to kind of sort those out. It is going to be an important thing in general for the SMEs in South Africa across, including all other industries, not necessarily the agricultural sector. So it's something that I think the president, he was very careful in terms of understanding that there is a need to make sure that we are boosting the economy in all its ways. And MSEs is something that has been viewed in terms of assisting creating those jobs. I mean, we do have larger corporates and all that, but MSEs are proving to be a very useful tool.
Small businesses have welcomed talks of a 1.4 billion rand intervention for entrepreneurs and also say government's planned partnership with the SME Fund, this to establish a 10 billion rand fund to support SME growth, will also go a long way in reviving the township economy.
One of our biggest concerns, Katleo, is to make sure that the fund reach the intended recipient. We need to avoid the situation of the COVID-19 relief fund, where the majority of the businesses in the township, whether through the red tape or whether through the non-compliance, they never receive those funds. But also, it is our duty as the SMMEs and the township organized businesses to assist the SMMEs in the township or to assist the entrepreneurs in the township to make it a point that they are fund ready.
The president has also announced efforts to boost the country's investment drive with plans afoot to raise the target of 2 trillion rand in investments extended to 2028. Busa has poured cold water on this, saying the environment in the country needs to be conducive first.
If you look at what's happening in East Africa at the moment, places like Kenya, they are growing much faster than us because they have recognized that they need investment and they need to grow their economies to address the problems they have. And they are creating an environment for investors, and that's where investment is going currently. So we are competing for this investment. And we need to create the environment for such investment to come in. Investment summits are good, but investment summits don't bring in investment. The environment will bring in investment. And we've got to work together to create that environment.
The State of the Nation address now makes way for a budget announcement by the Finance Minister later in the month. Economists and business formations expect that this will shed more light on the moves by government on how the announced interventions will be funded and the country's economy strengthened. Katlego Legodi, SABC News, Johannesburg.